Welcome back to this episode of the Malloy Twins podcast, and this is part of our Liverpool tour. And before getting into the episode, we want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors who helped make this happen.
Be the Difference One-to-One Training is a Dublin-based supplemental football coaching service that offers both private and group sessions as well as camps to help you build confidence, develop skills and eliminate weaknesses so that you can become the best version of yourself both on and off the pitch. They serve players from the age of 4 years old right up and have an extensive history working with underage players right up to the professional game. So if you're serious about improving as a footballer, then this is the place for you. You can find them on Instagram or TikTok at BTD One-to-One Training or online at www.btd121training. Everything will be linked in the description. Welcome back to the Malloy Twins podcast, and today we are delighted to be joined by Liverpudlian and Dublin's adopted son, Shem Rock. Shem, thanks for coming on today.
I like that, Dublin's adopted son, I like that.
How are you getting on, man? Thanks very much for coming in.
Yeah, I'm good. A little bit rainy today, so I got caught in the rain on the way, but other than that, I'm good.
No one comes to Liverpool for the weather anyway, so
same as Dublin, isn't it? Yeah, yes. It's the people.
It's the people. It is indeed. We always like to start off with some quick fire questions just to get warmed up before we get into the full episode. My first question for you: if it wasn't for fighting, what do you think you would have done with your life?
Fucking hell.
This is meant to be quick fire, yeah.
I'd probably be...
I was going to ask your favourite meal, but
in
that's a bit too mainstream.
Yeah.
I'd probably be a criminal. If I'm being honest, because I definitely wasn't going to be no bin man or work in McDonald's. So yeah, I'd probably be in jail.
Nice. What's your favourite way to finish a fight?
It's the way I always finish them. Naked chokes. I'm a submission guy, lad. I like the subs. Don't get me wrong, knockouts are great. But I feel like when you submit someone, especially when you get a tap, you quit. You quit in that moment. Like when I punch you and you go unconscious, you couldn't.
It wasn't a choice.
You quit in that. I made you quit.
That's a nice
so no
way
matter what they say afterwards, I'm like, you can't say nothing, bro. You quit.
Solid answer. I have to ask this question. Your last fight with Picorni, he tapped.
No, he went to sleep. He's a real man.
He went to sleep, did he?
I'll give him that one.
Okay, he went to sleep. Felt like there was a few seconds between when Mark Goddard tapped your arm and when you let go. Was that just in the moment, or was there a bit of just letting him feel it?
I wanted him to go to sleep, so in my head I'm like, I'm not letting go of this no matter what. I felt his hand like he went to reach. I wasn't sure if he was gonna tap or not, but it was too late. And then I'm one of them, lad, if the ref don't stop it, I'm squeezing you till the next morning. I'll still be there the next day squeezing. So even when he did try to pull me off, I was like, no, do I let go too early? Do it? And I just fucking held on to it, lad. It is what it is. It is what it is. He's alive, so we're all right.
Exactly. And his ribs are better this time, so
there was nothing wrong with them.
Do you have any pre-fight routines you like to follow?
I do, but I wouldn't call them like rituals or nothing.
Right, yeah.
I do believe like on that fight day when I wake up, the first thing I like to do is eat shakeout, and then from that first shakeout where I like wake my body up, from that moment I want to do as little as possible, and even thoughtless trivial tasks that make your brain work, I don't even want to do them. So when someone asks me a question, I'm just like,
blank.
Just ignore them. I'm not using my brain. I'm not using any energy. I sleep all day. And Octagon will probably tell you this because they're fucking ringing me every fight day, like, where are you? Why aren't you here? And I'm like, looking at the clock, I'll be there in 2 more hours. Right? I show up as late as possible, put my hand wraps on, warm up. I want that feeling when I'm backstage in that dressing room. I want that restlessness. I want to be like, I want to just get up and skip or move about. Because everyone will tell you this. When you get to the Octagon and it's time to fight, the adrenaline hits you, the nerves hit you. It's weird. You'd think with all that adrenaline, you're going to be on top of the world or you're going to be up. You want to sleep. So I get in that cage and I'm like, why do I feel sleepy?
Tired.
Why do I feel tired? But I know in my mind, I've done nothing all day. And 5 minutes ago, I was backstage restless. Then I know like, that's fake.
It's not real tiredness.
It's not real. It's just the adrenaline. So I kind of like to do that to overcome that. But other than that, I've got no real rituals. I don't have to flip a coin 5 times. I don't have to switch a light switch on.
First then, right?
I don't care about any of that, lad. Yeah.
No, I like it. You're a man who has fought literally all over the world.
Yeah.
Is there any place you haven't fought in yet that you would love to fight in?
Yeah. Liverpool. Liverpool, like,
Well, I'm sure there's tons of street fights maybe.
They don't count. If I don't get paid to them, they don't fucking count. It's like, surely right now, outside of the main major promotions like UFC, I'm gotta be the biggest draw in the UK now, and I'm still not getting fights in Liverpool, lad. I honestly think like a big card in Liverpool with a few other Scousers on it, a few Mancs, fly a few Irish over, lad. It'd be, everyone would want to come. This is right now for MMA in Europe. This is one of the hubs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
Liverpool is one of the hubs right now, isn't it? Like it's good name off a list of talent. So why the fuck aren't we doing the biggest shows here, lad? It makes no sense to me. Like, you've got one of the biggest guys right now. You could give him a main event slot in Liverpool. But everything happens for a reason. And when the time does come, and I'll be super thankful for it. I'll appreciate it. And it'll be the biggest thing in my career. Like, it's one of the things on my bucket list to do before I die. Like, I've got to fight in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Even if I'm fucking 50, lad, and it's
an exhibition against Mike Tyson.
It's happening. I'm doing one before I go.
Nice. Last question. When the fight is finished, you've tapped your man out, or no, you've choked him unconscious, all is done and you can go and eat whatever you want. What's your go-to meal?
Carbs, rice, pasta, potato. To be honest, I'm still fucked off the weight cuts when I leave the cage. Yeah. So I'm still like, my body still wants more.
Yeah.
I'm just like a big dark hole, lad. I need to put in me. I'm like, I'm not full, I need more.
Taking bites out your opponent.
I don't like to make the mistake of eating shit food after the fight.
Yeah.
Because then for the next 2-3 weeks, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And I've done it before, so I know, like, I'm 30 now, lad. I know what's good for me and what isn't.
Yeah.
I'm better staying clean, eating as much as I can, but good quality food.
Right, yeah.
And then probably after a week and a half, I'm back to normal then.
Good to go.
Nice. Good quick fires. Look, we always hate asking the guests to like, tell us all about your background. But I think you're a particular person with such an interesting and like, if your story wasn't true when you weren't here telling it to us, I think it would be hard to believe it.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, for anyone who's listening who isn't familiar with Shem Rock and what you've been through, could you give like the quick summary of Shem's story?
Quick summary. Okay, now is there such thing as a quick summary?
Not for this story. I do have a quick fire actually for you. Is who's going to play Shem in the Shem Rock movie? Because surely there's going to be a story. There has to be a movie made out of it.
I've at least got to write a book.
Yeah, at least.
Who could play me? I don't know. I've had someone sent me a video of an actor, but I didn't know who he was, and said he looked like me. And to be fair, he did look like me, but I don't know his name. Maybe your man out of Prison Break.
He's
a bit old now, though, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
And can he do a Scouse accent?
Yeah, that'll be the hard part.
I need 10 years to practice that one.
Well, anyway, the quick version for all those who don't know, I'm a bit of a late starter to mixed martial arts. I wasn't one of these who grew up as a kid doing martial arts. I grew up a little bastard. Didn't go to school really. Kicked out of schools. Moved all around the country. Single parent household. Didn't grow up with much. Grew up on the streets doing what you shouldn't do. I've fucking been there, wore the t-shirts, anything you can think of, I've probably done it. Obviously, when I'm about 18, 19, I was wanted for a crime that I didn't commit, funnily enough, even though I was committing other crimes at that time. Yeah. But the one that fucking come to bite me on the ass was the one I didn't do. And being young, I ran. I was on the run for 10 years. I spent 8 of those years in Asia, 2 in Dublin, fought all over the world. I actually found martial arts by accident when I was in Malaysia on the run with jiu-jitsu. Started doing jiu-jitsu as a hobby because I enjoyed it. Started getting really good at it. My coach forced me to compete. Competed, loved it. Now all I wanted to do was compete even more. Fucking competed all around Southeast Asia. Got to represent the UK in the world. Was on a TV show for MMA. That's when I started competing as an amateur. Won the TV show. Fucking moved to Ireland before COVID. This story could go on all day, couldn't it, lad?
Cool, man, it could.
But to cut a long story short, I fought in Belfast when I shouldn't have. When I should have stayed safe in Dublin. And after the fight, I lost the fight, lost my title, and got arrested, and went to jail. And then eventually, fighting the case, got a not guilty, after 10 years on the run, walked out a free man, and then knuckled down and kind of, it's weird because it's almost like my career started at that point, even though I'd already done so much. But yeah, that's when I pretty much had me fights in the UK for the first time, got signed to Octagon, and then I've been on the run that I've been on, and here I am now sitting in front of you chatting shit.
Great summary.
Yeah, it's funny. It feels like there's almost like two different lives that Shem lived. There's like Shem pre going on the run and then Shem after going on the run, and obviously martial arts is such a huge part of your life since then. When you left Liverpool, I think listening to you went like to Paris and then from Paris to Malaysia or something like that.
Koh Samui,
Koh Samui first.
Was it like a conscious decision, like I'm not going to commit crimes anymore, or was it just like through that process of being on the run, finding martial arts, you just found yourself behaving in a different way?
That's a tough question, that. I never thought when I left that I was going to last as long as I did. So I never went out there with the intention to commit crimes to use the money off committing crimes to stay afloat and survive. Because I didn't think I was going to last more than a week on the run. So I never really had a backup plan. But then, I've gone out there, and at first it's just like I'm on holiday. I'm living off my savings, and I've been doing what I've been doing for a few years. And then I just found martial arts, lad, and from there on, it was just all a big accident, lad. It's like when you find something that, because it's hard to describe to someone, but it's like when I found it, I knew it was for me. I couldn't explain what the feeling is, but I felt it, and I was like, I know this is what I'm meant to do. And now, like, I'm speaking to people about it who know me, and I'm like, I'm going to start fighting, I'm training. And the people who know me are like, what are you on about, bro? You started training at the age of 22, bro. You're on the run, you can never go home. You what do you mean, UFC? Like, I'm saying all these things to them, and it's incomprehensible. So even like, I think as I went through the journey, my goals constantly changed, and on what I thought I could achieve. But one thing was for certain, when I found it, I don't know how I knew it, but I knew I'd be at the highest level. I knew like, I can feel it. I'm going to be there. And even when people would say how, I couldn't explain it. I just knew it. And like, it doesn't matter how, I'm going to make it happen. But no one ever gets to go there through the path you're on. And I'm like, well, I'll be the first then. And some people can't believe it, lad, but now that I'm here, then people who couldn't believe it are now the same people who go, oh, lad, you're doing so good, bro.
I knew you'd make it.
Any tickets?
Exactly. That's the worst one, like, fuck me.
When you were spending that time then over in Asia on the run, I was always thinking, if I was in that position, I don't even know if I could sleep at night. Like, I'd probably be lying there, eyes open, like, any little movement I'd hear, like, fuck, was that the police? And I hear, was it something that just the longer you were on the run, it kind of faded into the background almost, or was it always on your mind that this could come to an end at any time?
Never really speak to people about this because it's a bit of a different side of my life. It's a bit more fucking, talking about like almost going into trauma and PTSD, like to be asleep and not to be asleep.
To not switch off fully.
You've got some sort of trauma going on. And I think for at least 5-6 years of my life, I definitely had that. Before I went on the run, I'd say 2-3 years I slept with my shoes and socks on.
Oh yeah? Just waiting for...
And clothed. Even when I wasn't on the run and I was doing what I was doing, you stay ready, and I'm ready to get up and jump out the back window if I have to, let's say. And I think when I first went away, that stayed with me for a bit. I was still keeping me sleeping on the top of the bed, on top of the quilt with my shoes and socks on. It's not a normal thing, is it? But like I said, like after a while, it started to be like I'm on holiday. I was never in fear of being caught by the police because I never thought it was going to last a week, like I said. Whenever I'd seen police, I'd just be like, oh, is it now? Come on then. Or like I wasn't really scared. The only times I'd say I was really scared of getting arrested was when I'd be going to fights.
Okay.
Because I'd be like, I need to fight. I can't get arrested before this fight. Like when I fought in Belfast, there was one way in and one way out to the venue. And at the front of the venue, there was all police there. And there was a big Mariah van like searching people and that. And I thought, shit, if these ask me for my name now, hold on a minute.
I'm
fucked. So I've had to jump out the car and run through all farms, come over the back wall and cut through the venue covered in all mud and that.
Ah, man.
And these were the shits that I was thinking at fights. Like every time I'm fighting in Dubai and I go through the airport, I'm thinking, oh, don't get nicked in the airport. Don't get nicked in the airport. Other than that, I was never really scared about actually getting caught. If I got caught, I'd just be like, okay, yeah, it is what it is. It's weird because I always told myself, when I lose my first fight, I'll go home and I'll fight the case.
Okay.
And the fight that I lost, I got
just
arrested.
so
Literally there and then, yeah.
So sometimes the way everything's played out, I just think it was meant to be
Yeah.
the way it's happened, lad, yeah.
Life has its own plans. I wanted to talk to you about, because I first came across you when you were in Dublin. And I thought you were Irish till I went down to your page and I saw the Scouse accent. I was like, oh, okay. Because you had like an Irish flag in your bio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise you only came to Ireland kind of at the start of COVID.
Yeah.
Was when you came to Dublin.
Yeah, 2020. I've been in Malaysia. I was kicked out my gym. I had nowhere to go. Went and done a camp in Thailand because I was fighting in Dubai. I won that fight. And then I'm like, I've half accomplished everything and I can achieve here. I felt like I was coming to like a dead end almost. You know, when you just know like, for me to grow, I need to leave.
For growth here.
And that's how I felt at that point. It was harder for me to get opportunities. I'm not Asian. Everyone in the Southeast Asia scene knows now I'm a wanted criminal. It's come out. So I was like, it's hard for me. But I know if I go to Europe, I can get the opportunities. I've got a few connections. It'll be easier for me. Maybe I'll be the home crowd favourite on a few shows, or I'll bring my own people over, and you're worth a bit more weight then, aren't you, if you can sell tickets and shit.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my logic and thinking. And then I decided, let's go to Dublin. It's like out of police jurisdiction, but it's basically Liverpool. If you can't go to Liverpool, innit? You would say what city's the closest to Liverpool in the world, but it can't be
Liverpool.
You'd say Dublin, wouldn't you, lad? So that was my choice in going there. Landed there, had my accommodation sorted. 2 days later, COVID, lockdown. I don't know anyone. I've got no gym to train at. The accommodation gave me my money back and kicked me out because the fucking virus. It was a shit time, lad. But you look back on everything now and you go like, it was meant to happen that way because it put me in a different direction I would have went. Because I landed just thinking, McGregor.
Of course.
Where do I go? Train at SBG. Where everything kind of happened in a mad way that it kind of took me off to a different path, and I ended up in DCA training with Collie and Craig.
Yes.
Where maybe I mightn't have ended up if I would have.
Things would have gone that play.
Yeah. So I'm happy the way everything happened, and it's brought me to where I am now.
Yeah. Back home. I actually, unless do you have anything you want to ask on that? No. Because we reached out to, obviously we have some mutual friends in Dublin. We reached out to somebody who you know quite well in Dublin and asked them to give a few words about Shem, and I want you to try guess who it might be.
Hopefully the good words are not bad words. If they're me mate, it'll be bad words.
Dickhead Norris.
How did you know?
So this is what he said. The first time I met Shem, I actually sparred him, and I just remember thinking, who is this cunt judo throwing me across the ring? In time, I got to know Shem and got pretty fond of him. We have similar stories, the fact we came from rough enough areas and had to do a lot of struggling before we made it out of the areas we were in. He's a lovely, lovely lad, got some good work out of him, picked up some stuff from him, and he picked up some stuff from me, and he's always trying to convert me to MMA.
So
Any
it's
ideas?
not an MMA fighter.
Not an MMA fighter. Someone you sparred in judo threw around the ring.
There's a lot of them, I'm sure.
So I'm technically, if it's a Muay Thai fighter, I'm technically not meant to be judo throwing him, am I? Yeah. So I'm a bit of a dickhead, whoever it is. Someone from Dublin Combat.
Yes, so
I'm going to go, is it Craig?
it is.
Is it Craig?
Coakley.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sick.
Craig Coakley.
What was it about DCA that it seems like you guys have such a big, strong relationship, and it grew during like really tough times like COVID, all that going on, obviously all the stuff in the background of you. What was it that led you to fall in love with the place and made that relationship so strong?
I've been to a lot of gyms when I got there at that point, but I'd never ever been to a gym where I'd walked in the room and gone, he's like me.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd never felt that in any other gym. I'd always felt like, lower it a little bit before people realise you're a bit of a scallion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I walked in the room and I thought, I'd just been kicked out at SBG. I didn't tell them I was wanted. I can't be asked going through that again. So let me go and tell Collie straight off the bat, yo, think you should know this, by the way. If you don't want me to train here, tell me now. And it was a completely different reaction than one I thought I'd get, because Collie's like, look around the room, mate. Council estate, council estate, council estate. Doesn't have a mum and dad. Mum and dad are on drugs.
Yeah.
In and out of jail. He was like, do you understand how these people look at you? Because they can relate to you. You're like a role model to these people almost. He's like, I don't care what you've done. If you're telling me you haven't done it and you're not involved in crime no more, as long as you show up and train every day, you can stay here. You're fully welcome to stay here. And it was weird because like, I didn't have to feel like I was pretending to be someone else. Or I didn't have to pretend to act a certain way. I come in every day, I be myself. Everyone in the room with all the lads, they're all from similar backgrounds. Everyone in the room was super hard working. And I think the main ingredient that you need in the gym is everyone was willing to learn and competitive. So we're trying to one-up each other every day, but we're also willing to learn. So we want to know, how did you do that? Can you show me that? There was no ego in there, lad. It was a good fucking training room. And I think during that time of COVID, when everyone else was scared to open their doors and train, even the people who were doing it in secret, they wouldn't admit it. Collie didn't give a fuck, bro. Collie was like, nah, this is all fake. The gym's open, we're training. Police would knock on the gym and he'd be like, what? Just want to come in and watch us train? Well, fuck off then. After 6 weeks of knocking on, in the end, he was just like, leave them.
Leave them to it.
And to be fair, we were all professional athletes. So we're doing our job, innit? Fuck off. It was a weird time, no COVID, wasn't it?
It was mental.
You look back on it now, you're like,
people in plastic bags hugging each other, lad.
Wow. Crazy. And even how, like, you know, you needed to have your COVID passport to be allowed to sit in a cafe to drink, or if you want to go to a pub, you had to order a meal.
You spent a tenner to be able to sit in
like all this stuff. It's like,
it was all a scam, wasn't it, lad? It was all the biggest scam, lad.
But anyways, off the back of that, then obviously went up to Belfast, lost the fight, got nicked that night. When you were going into jail and going through that whole process, did that feel like, all right, this could be the end of my mixed martial arts career here? Or did you always have a sense that like, nah, like there's more beyond this. This isn't the last show?
I knew it could have been the end of what the highest level of me heights could have been, but I knew it could never have been the end of me fighting.
Yes.
Because no matter what,
I
would have got out, and no matter what, I would have stepped straight back in the gym.
When you say the highest level, do you mean in terms of like sponsorships and promotions and stuff like that?
Well, you got to think of it like this. Like, let's say, if I plead guilty, I got offered a deal and I would have done 5 years. If I would have pled not guilty but would have been found guilty, maybe I'm looking at 8 to 12 years. And then I'm going into jail 30 years of age. Let's say I got 8 years and I done 3 years and I got tagged and I got let out and I haven't trained for 3 years and I'm out of shape and I'm out of jail at 33 years of age of 3 years of no training. And then I'm like, all right, lads, let's get to the UFC. It's a completely different ask.
Might have sailed,
a 6 month break to then getting out. And could I have still done it? Of course I could have. But would it have been a tougher ask? Yeah, definitely it would have. So it did come into my mind, might this be the end of my career at the highest level? But no way it was the end of me.
Yes.
Not a chance.
Sick.
What did you do during those 6 months? Did you keep up some form of training? Did you manage to keep things ticking over in any way? Or
so it was weird, lad, because when I went to jail, fucking everyone else who was in lockdown have all been opened up. But for some reason the jail system was still in lockdown.
Okay.
It made no sense whatsoever. We were only allowed out of our cell for 30 minutes a day. So I was then behind the door for 23 hours and 30 minutes every single day. And some days they might come to you and be like, you aren't getting out today, lads. And that's just how it was. And that would probably happen 2 to 3 times a week. So you never knew, am I getting out? Am I not getting out? It was horrible, lad. So every day I'm just in my cell, shadow boxing, make my own little makeshift weights and lift weights. The screws used to come in your pad and take your weights off you because they were horrible. Some days they open you up for the gym. Some days you don't get gym. Like, you're supposed to get gym once a week, but I reckon I was in the gym over 6 months 3 times. Yeah, because they don't want the guy who's a professional fighter fucking on.
True,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
innit? They just want everyone to just be fucking don't cause no trouble.
Yeah. Sit there, shut up.
Yeah, if you're sitting in your cell smoking weed, they're not asking you, they know you shut up him.
Right, okay.
But if they see you training and getting henched, they're thinking, fuck.
He could be a problem, this fella.
That's half how they're thinking, bro. I don't, like, I can't tell you how every person on the wing was thinking, but that's what I felt.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, so I just shadow boxed every day, lifted weights every day, and fucking read me, because I've got like all the evidence.
Okay,
So I just literally read that every day, 3-4 times a day, until I could recite it off by heart.
Really, yeah.
So when I went to court and I had to answer all the questions,
Yeah.
Before he'd even finished the questions, I'd be like, I know where he's going with this.
yeah.
Okay, I've got the answer. Which was weird, because the guy who fucking come to press charges, after 10 years, still showed up to court, still come into the courtroom, still gave evidence. And where he hasn't seen the evidence for 10 years, he'd forgot it all.
Yeah.
So when my barrister was asking him questions, he was like just saying completely different things to what he said in his original statement.
Right.
And I was just there in it all like, what? He's lost the plot.
Yeah, that's not in the book.
Yeah. So that half helped me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And are you spiritual at all? Like, were you, I don't know, like praying in there, or like doing much spiritual searching or anything like that?
Yeah, I believe in God. But nothing really changed.
Yeah. You know, some people go into prison and then they come out and they're like born again and they have that.
Yeah, I was the same. Yeah.
Same old Shem. Just without a case over his head. this
Yeah,
time.
he's not on the run anymore. Different kind of run now.
Yeah.
A much better run, this one.
Yes.
Run
And
to the title.
I love it. And stepping in then, coming out of jail, getting back into it, was it straight away like, right, first day that I'm out of jail, right, it's go time, back in the gym and get going? Or did it take you a bit of time to kind of...
Next morning.
Morning, literally.
Next morning I was in Next Gen. My first sparring session, I threw up everywhere. But I was laughing and smiling. I think other people in the room must have been like, he's a weirdo. What's he laughing about? It was good to feel like exhaustion almost, where I hadn't been able to simulate that just by running or lifting weight. It's not the same as standing in front of someone and you're just trying to break each other a little bit. And I was just in the gym every single day until I had my first fight out of jail, which was Harry Davies in London, which I got a 6-second knockout.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
Masvidal asking sort of job.
What was the shot that put him out?
Backhand.
Yeah,
he threw a kick, and because he was on one leg when he threw the kick, I blasted the backhand and it just put him out.
Shout out
First
DCA
person
for
to knock him out as well.
Yeah.
And then after that, he got knocked out a few times, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
I loosened the jab for
Yeah,
everyone else.
yeah. You made him chinny.
Then I fought Lefty for the title, and then after that, Octagon come and got me.
Yes.
I think I made enough noise after them 2 regional wins that everyone was like,
yeah.
no point him staying on the regional scene.
Yeah. He's on to bigger and better things. And am I right in thinking in Octagon, you haven't had a fight yet go beyond the first round?
No, I have.
My
debut. So my debut, I was supposed to fight this little weasel of a man, Jacob Banich, who ran and went missing. So people don't know this, but I was supposed to fight Jacob Banich. I dislocated my ribs, funnily enough, with the fella you just had before me in here, Jazza Dickens.
You did, yeah?
It's mad. We were doing a video for his YouTube channel where he comes in and tries MMA.
Ah, okay.
Right.
I'd done all my training, my sparring was done. I'm in camp to fight. I'm 2-3 weeks out from my fight, and then I've gone to do the video with Jazza, and he said, let's spar. So I'm like, come on then, let's spar. I've took him down, and when I've took him down, I twisted my body a little bit, and 2 of my ribs just popped out. It was literally just a freak coincidence. We were going super light. Where I reckon if we were going hard there, I probably wouldn't have got hit, because I'd be thinking about staying safe. We were going super light. Dislocated 2 of my ribs. My opponents pulled out. I was bedbound for I was bedbound and couldn't do nothing for at least 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks. My opponent got changed to some Brazilian guy. And I was like, probably should pull out. All the coaches told me to pull out. But I'm like, it's my Octagon debut. I don't want to fucking pull out, and now the promotion are looking at me like, this guy isn't really
Yeah,
about
all
it.
hype, yeah.
So I thought, fuck that, I'm not pulling out. I showed up. I fought Lima on the short notice because it's a completely different opponent. I'm fighting a grappler now, where before the other guy was a boxer.
Okay.
Funnily enough, the guy who was fighting in the main event, Cater, his opponent pulled out.
Okay.
He was fighting for the featherweight belt. So now they offered me to fight for the featherweight belt against Cater. And I was half gutted because when I signed to Octagon, he was the guy I wanted to fight because he was another guy with the name.
Yeah.
The only thing was I couldn't have made 66 kilo in a week and a half.
Yeah.
So I had to turn it down because I wouldn't have made the weight. It would have been pointless. But I'm glad I did because I had the dislocated ribs. If I could have made the weight, I would have taken and fought him.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not making that weight. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm a big 70. No way I'm making 66.
Yeah.
So I ended up fighting the Brazilian guy, Lima. First round, he put me in a triangle and nearly put me to sleep. I nearly went out. I don't know how, but I escaped the triangle somehow. He's won the first round. And then when I've gone back to the corner, the coaches are like, look, take him down, stay on top. Win the last 2 rounds, we win the fight. So that's what I've done for the last 2 rounds. I took him down, stayed on top for the whole 2 rounds, controlled him, landed more punches than him. And then afterwards, gone to the judge's scoring card and he scored in a draw. They give me the last 2 rounds, but they give him the first round and said it was a 10-8. And I'm like, what? It wasn't a 10-8, like, but it is what it is. I got robbed on my first fight in the promotion, scored to a draw. The thing that saddens me the most, because I can take that, whatever, it is what it is. The guy that I fought, I honestly think the level of jiu-jitsu he had, because me and him were very close in the grappling, the level of jiu-jitsu he had, I do honestly think he'd run through 90% of the roster in Octagon. They never brought him back for another fight ever again.
Really?
And I was like, I wanted him to stay, fight someone else so we could
realign
again.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to end it on a draw. I don't want to end it on a draw. I actually still speak to the guy. He's cool, Lima. He come in on short notice. He's a fucking gamer, hungry from the favelas of Brazil. Wanted an opportunity. The performance he put on when he probably should have lost against the name. He come in and he fucking fought out to draw. Like, he probably thought, yes, I'm getting another opportunity, and he never got it, and that's why I feel bad for him. But I guess this is the sport we're in.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's a bit of a heartless world, isn't it, the fighting game?
Yeah. But I've been that guy before, though. I've been brought on an opportunity, and instead of actually drawing, won the opportunity and thought, yes,
there we go.
I'm in now, and they've never brought me back.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
I remember you telling the story of, it was when you were in Asia, I think, and you beat the guy, whatever, and then your man literally came to you after and said, here, we actually just brought you here so he could beat you, but fair play to you.
Yeah, that was Rocky Lee.
That's the one, he was UFC.
The promoter told me afterwards that it was his cousin. He was like, Rocky Lee is actually my cousin. We brought you to lose and you win, you did good. And I was like, wow, that's it. So when am I on next? We'll let you know. No.
Delete that number,
That's mad. And I know obviously you're training now in Next Gen, and since you came out of jail, did you have like a relationship with like Paddy and Molly and Paul up in Next Gen before going into jail, or was that just once you got out you kind of developed those relationships?
Yeah, it's mad because obviously you can't be a scouser and not know what's going on your own scene. Especially with the crop of fighters we've got. We're all quite charismatic and vocal and
personalities.
So I'd been watching them before I ever even trained. Like I was watching. Like I've always been a fan of MMA.
Yeah.
I was watching Fishy, then watching Paddy, seeing Molly do her thing, and now obviously I started doing the jiu-jitsu and competing. And then through the social media, we've all got connected. Another scouser, but who's out there. After me jiu-jitsu matches and that, sometimes Brim would message me and be like, I seen your fight, congrats. And we'd go back and forth. If you're ever in Liverpool, come and train. Then I started speaking to Molly, Paddy, Fishy, all of them pretty much. I've done Paddy's podcast as well while I was on the run out there. Yeah, so we had like a speaking relationship. And when I come out of jail, I knew like that was the first place I wanted to go. Like it's mad because I had this thing in me head, like I want to train with him. I want to train with him. I want to go to this gym. I want to visit there. I want to visit there. I've probably done about 5% of any of them. As soon as I've gone to Next Gen, I loved it that much that I'm still like,
there.
Like I'm still chasing the the knowledge.
Yeah.
But there's still other gyms that I want to go and train with other certain athletes. I've been such a big fan of the sport, especially this scene.
Yeah.
Never being able to fight on it, never being able to train with none of the guys. I've been watching it from afar.
Yeah.
Even sometimes I watch some of the amateurs coming up and I'm like, he's going to be good, him. I'd love to train with him.
Yes.
And then when I meet them, I'm like, what's happening, lad? And they're like, how do you know who I am? And I'm like, remember when you fought blah, blah, and you done it? Because I'm a fan, you know what I mean? So now that when I first come out of jail and I got to train with everyone, it was like
class,
it was a bit like a dream, lad, you know? Like it's something I've been wanting to do for such a long time and never got to do. And now, I guess, now I'm looking outside at America and other places because now I'm here. It's always like that, isn't it? It's always going to be like that.
The grass is always greener, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm happy with everything I've got here now. Everything's perfect. This is the life I was dreaming for when I was in Asia. And now I'm living it. So try and not take anything for granted and appreciate it all.
Yeah.
Which sometimes we forget, innit, lad? Sometimes you just overlook things.
For sure, man. I can imagine, especially with your experience, the perspective that must have given you on like what you have now compared to back then and all that shit. Is like, even on the tough times where there's dislocated ribs, opponents pulling out, it's like, yeah, this is shit, but like I've been through much bigger things than this. This is nothing.
Yeah. People ask me that all the time, like, when you get to the cage and that, are you scared? Are you nervous? What about it? And I just think about like the worst of the worst moments that I've had in my life. And I just think, bro, this isn't even 10% of that.
Yeah.
So to do everything else once you've been through something shit, lad, it makes it easier, doesn't it?
Oh, man. That was one of my questions. Because like you're a very, at least from communicating with you and being with you here today, very easygoing, chilled, no problem, cool. Is there like a switch that goes off in Shem Rock before he fights where he turns into this like aggressive killer, or do you just carry that same sort of flowiness into the fights and try to go with the flow?
There must be a switch, because when I'm in there, I'm definitely trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Like I am definitely trying to make sure that you do not leave this cage before I do.
Yeah.
But I do also think I'm super cerebral. I'm super present in the moment. I'm not overthinking things. I'm reading them to see what they do and going off the back of it. Like I believe I fight a striker, I'm going to wrestle a bit more. I fight a wrestler, I'm going to strike. Like I'm kind of just fit the mold.
Adapt, yeah.
And I'm submitting everyone with rear naked chokes because these cunts don't have any fucking ground. So I'm waiting to fight another guy with a good as ground so I can maybe show other sides to my game. But yeah, I think maybe it is a bit of a switch flick. I don't know. Maybe
it's not a conscious thing, anyways.
It's definitely not conscious. Yeah. As soon as I get to the venue, I'm in that mode. Yeah.
Nice.
I know it's a tough question to answer, and they probably won't even listen to it if you say it. But I wanted to ask anyways. For you, obviously, all the experiences you've gone through, I'm sure you wouldn't have changed any of it. Like growing up as a kid, the stuff you were involved in, because it all shapes who you are now and like what you're doing today. But if there is anyone watching who say a young fella on the same path that you were on prior to going on the run, is there any advice that you could give or anything you'd share with them that could help them maybe not make those mistakes or continue down those paths?
You'd be surprised when you say like they're probably not watching, because I always think this myself. Like sometimes you forget who is watching and you just live your life as normal. But every so and so you'll get something that puts it into perspective a little bit. Like today I actually got a nice message, someone saying that they were going to kill themselves, and they found martial arts and it's changed their life. And they found martial arts because they seen me on a podcast talking about being a criminal and how martial arts has changed my life. And he was like, well, if it's changed his life, maybe it can change my life. And he says he's not suicidal no more. And then at that moment when I'm reading that, I'm thinking like, I was just being me.
I wasn't even trying to.
I wasn't trying to motivate you.
Yes, yeah.
I'm glad that it has, and I'm glad that it has changed one person's life by me doing something positive. So sometimes, like I say, we forget who's watching. But if I was to give one piece of advice, I'd say the worst thing you can probably do is be idle and have free time with nothing to do and nothing to achieve.
Yes.
I feel like that's when bad influences can seem like a good idea. Maybe hanging around with people who have got nothing else going on also, because you've got nothing going else on, you can gravitate towards that a little bit and be like, oh, we're just chilling. We're not doing nothing bad, but it should be, we're not doing nothing good either.
Yeah.
I'd be like, whatever it is, because everyone's going to have their own little, I wouldn't say a hobby, because maybe you haven't found a hobby yet, but something that you're interested in. Do you like watches? Do you like playing computer games? Do you like ballet? Do you like football?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, in this day and age, it can be monetized. You can't tell me now. You can't make money off that. When there's a guy swallowing whole roast potatoes on TikTok and making money. So whatever it is, it can be monetized. If you enjoy doing it, do it. At first, maybe you're going to have to do it for free. Like, I can guarantee you now, I never got paid for the first 8 years of fighting.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that. Did some fights maybe pay me a few $100s or, but I guarantee you that much outweighed the expenditure than what I made. Like, and I'm sure you can say the same about this when you first started.
I'll show you the bank account deal. Prove it.
Do you know what I'm saying? But if you enjoy doing it, it's not a job.
Yes,
you do it because you love it. And then people see the passion you've got for it. People want to work with you. People see like, oh, this guy's actually a positive, nice guy. And before you know it, it just builds and you look back and you go, fucking hell, remember 5 years ago when we were in that moody little backroom studio? Now look at us, all the lights on. It just happens. So I feel like it is hard to be positive when you're in a bad place.
Yeah.
But if you've got that one thing that makes you happy, that you enjoy doing, like for me, it's always been sports.
Yes.
I could be in the worst of the worst mood and want to kill someone, go and do jiu-jitsu. As soon as I leave the mat, I come out like, what was I stressed about before?
Yeah.
What was I even bothered about? And I think that's where it starts from. And if you just keep every day pursuing that grind, an opportunity will come from it. 100,000,000%, an opportunity will definitely come from it where you can better your life, move abroad, make money from it, find a partner, whatever it is that you are seeking in your life will come from that. But you got to make the first step yourself. No one's going to bring you to the gym and sign you up. No one's going to take you to the local football cage and introduce you to the other footy players and start playing. You've got to make the first step yourself in whatever it is. That's what I believe.
Yeah, what an answer. Indeed. I know, I can't remember where, it was somewhere on YouTube anyways. I think it might have been like a Channel 4 documentary or something like that. Yeah. But you were talking about something that you would love to do later on down the line, to set up your own martial arts club so that now any young people in the area or from rough areas have that place they can go to where they can hopefully get the same thing from martial arts that you got from it. And I know you took part in the Octagon YouTube series thing as well, where you were coaching to like Team Ireland against Team England. Do you enjoy the role of coaching, and do you see that as something that you're going to be doing long term into the future?
I think I've definitely got, I wouldn't call it even a passion, I'd say an obsession with martial arts, with learning as much as I can, taking in as much knowledge as I can. When I see people do things in real life and it's different to something I haven't seen before, I ask them why. Like, I want to know the reasons, I want to know why it works. And I think ultimately that has also given me a bit of a coach's brain, can you say?
Yes, yeah.
Even though I am an athlete first and my goal now is only fighting, I do think when I go on to coach, I think I'll be a good coach, especially like an MMA grappling coach or a pure MMA coach. I just think when I was a kid, there was no one you could have looked to as a Paddy Pimblett or a Molly McCann. Like, there was no one I could have looked to and gone like, well, Darren Till's done it. I can do it. I just got to go to the gym. We never had that. We were looking at America and going, what, this guy who wrestled since he was 7 and lives in California.
Doesn't really apply to Toxtits, does it?
You know what I'm saying, innit? And I now just hope that I can be the representative for maybe like your mixed race kids, your black kids, your people from South Liverpool, because the white representative in Liverpool has maybe got your Paddy, your Molly, your Darren. The gay community's got Molly. The white community's got your Paddy and Darrens. The north of Liverpool's got maybe the other kids maybe don't look at them and think, I can do that.
They don't relate in that way,
Maybe they didn't come from a two-parent household. Maybe their mum and dad are refugees and the dad died in a war and the mum doesn't speak the language and now they're here. So maybe I'm someone that they could look to a bit easier, and I just think it's only going to grow from there. Maybe in the next generation, there's a Somali kid who comes out of Toxteth who can then bring the other Somalis. And it just all grows, innit? Like, it could be any race, any whatever. I'm just giving an example. But that's what I'd like to be. I'd like to be that guy from the people of my background could maybe look to and inspire them to start martial arts. I would one day like to have a place, like I said, where I could teach martial arts to the unfortunate, to the under 18, under 16 demographic. Even if you're older, but you've in and out of jail, you're not got your right head on you.
Yeah.
Like, I have taught martial arts in the past many a time, and I don't know why, but the kids who are just little bastards always leave a little something with me.
Yeah.
I didn't forget my man.
Yeah,
Even though he was a little cunt and he used to
yeah.
ruin the class every Tuesday day. When it was time to spar, he always fucking went at it.
Yeah.
Like, they always stick with me a little bit, maybe because I see a bit of myself in there, because I was a little bastard. Who knows? But I do definitely think I'll go on to coach children, under 18s, or athletes.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I don't like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the normal, everyday, average person, and I see it all the time when I'm in the class as the student, the coach is sitting there speaking, and me and you are like, so what was work like today?
Yes.
I don't want that. That's the one thing. I sometimes I even go like, look at them like, shh. Coach is speaking here, lad, what are you doing? Where kids, you don't get that. Kids are there to learn.
Yeah.
Athletes are there to learn. I want people who want to learn. Where maybe if you're a good coach though, you can, with discipline, you can take that out of anyone.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm still early on my path as well.
Yeah, that's it.
I could make the money McGregor's made and said, fuck it all and go be on a yacht somewhere. No, I'll always be involved in the sport.
No, a yacht on the River Mersey.
Yeah.
Fuck, you wouldn't want to take your yacht on there, lad.
Canoe.
Last question for me, Shem, is what do you see the next few months playing out for yourself? Like, coming off the back of your last win on this run at the moment, what way are things going to play?
Ideally,
yeah.
in an ideal world, Octagon pull their finger out and say, Shem, we need you, Frankfurt, October, 60,000 seat stadium. We've got this German cunt here saying he'll punch your head in. Come into his back garden and see can you prove him wrong. I go there, shock the world, choke him out in the first round, and then maybe fight for the belt. Who knows, lad? Who knows? All I know is I want to be on that Germany card, but I don't know if I'm needed or not. So if I'm not needed, maybe I fight on an earlier card. But I'm one of these people, lad, as soon as I walk out that cage, I've already set my next goal.
Right, okay.
Before I even get into the car to drive back to the hotel, I've already got an idea in my head. And maybe it's overlooking the task at hand a little bit, because to do that, I must have already had it beforehand, but maybe I didn't confirm it to myself.
Yeah.
But as soon as I done that fight in Prague, 30,000 people, everyone going mad. As soon as I left, I said, how can I top this? I can't go backwards now. I can't go and do an 18,000 seater stadium in Slovakia.
Yes.
I can if I have to, because I still need to pay the bills. But what really gets me out of bed, what makes me want to get up at 5 a.m, do an extra run, or do that extra session in the weightlifting gym when I'm tired, I know that will. I know for 1,000,000% that will. And as soon as I got out that's why I'm on the press conference like, Germany, get me on that card, get me on that card. Because I know, like, a motivated Shem's a dangerous Shem. And if they ring me now and tell me, look, you're on that card, get ready.
The Shem Show.
Molly McCann, here we are. Yeah, I want to be on that Germany card. That's what I need.
Well,
So let's get Shem Rock to Germany. What?
yes.
We need to make some noise, look. Everyone get on the Octagon page, spam every single picture. Shem Show, Germany, October, make it happen.
Shem Rock, Scouser, Dubliner, legend. Thank you for coming in today, my man.
Yes, lad.
Shem.
Sound, boys.